All right. Um, well, first off, my name's Corey, and I'm an addict and an alcoholic. Um, it's hard for me to speak because I'm usually the one behind the camera, not talking in front of it. I'm a horrible public speaker. But what I'm wanting to do with this project, with this Kickstarter project, is I want to raise enough money to where I can buy all the equipment I need: cameras, camera equipment, microphones, lights, all that good stuff, to make a documentary, or whatever you want to call it, about life after rehab. There's tons of shows about people, addicts, um, being documented on how horrible they are, and you get to see the worst of this disease a lot, but you never really get to see the aftermath, or especially what happens in where I'm at, a sober living house. I want to show that you can get your happiness back, that joy that you experienced as a kid, the excitement about the world. It can all be brought back. It's not. I think a lot of people think, well, why would I want to get clean? There's nothing. Life's gonna be boring after that. Where's the fun? I can't party. I can't have drinks with my friends. Well, if you're anything like me, doing that, having drinks with your friends, or some pills every now and then, is gonna lead you to a downward spiral that'll kill me. Addiction's something I take very serious. It's come close to killing me multiple times. Um, uh, Car accidents, blackouts to where I had access to weapons at a point in time where I was suicidal. I lost my dad to addiction. He was an alcoholic, what you'd call a functional alcoholic, until he got put on disability and stopped working because of his back. So basically, it was just me and him living together at that point in time, and I watched him go from this big, tough, biker-looking guy to a guy that could fit into my size medium tees, and size 32 pants. He thought it'd be a good idea one night after drinking. We both were drinking. He got it in his head that he was done, and without warning shot himself in the chest. I found him shortly after. Still had a couple breaths left in him. All I could do was, call 911 and then hold his head and say and repeat in his ear over and over that I loved him, and I heard him take that last breath, and that's when, for about a year, my goal was to drink myself to death. I didn't want to be alive anymore. I wanted to somehow see him again. But I don't want to get too much into my story. I would like to cover that more in this movie if this Kickstarter thing works out. But I would like to introduce you guys to the guys I live with, who I love very much and who are the reason I'm staying sober today.
My name is Jake. I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict. We always introduce ourselves like that to remind ourselves that, we do suffer from the disease of addiction and alcoholism. It's also a way to remind ourselves that we should not be ashamed of that. We suffer from this disease. A lot of people do. And, us in this house, we're the fortunate ones who have found the path of recovery. We're trying to do something about it. And it's not all about putting drugs and alcohol down. It's more about changing really everything, but specifically your morals, the principles you live by. A lot of us in our addiction, at least me, it was all about lying and manipulating, just 100% self-centeredness. And recovery is all about changing that, caring for others, being honest, being humble, practicing patience. A lot of things. We just have to change everything about ourselves. And just a little backstory about me. I am 22 years old. I'll be 23 soon. I grew up in a small town in central Illinois, Atlanta, Illinois. Shout out to the A. Growing up, I had a pretty reasonably normal childhood, you'd say. Growing up, I played sports. I had a lot of friends. Not much tragedy. A pretty normal life coming up. Until I hit 12 years old, and that all changed when I lost my mother. She had a brain aneurysm, and long story short, during the operation, she didn't make it through. She passed away, and then everything changed. Growing up, I always looked up to my dad and noticed his drinking, but not until after my mom died did it really spin out of control. He didn't necessarily get mean or abuse me or anything like that, but the best way to describe it is he was two different people. He was my dad, and then he was, at around 2 or 3 o'clock he changed, turned into a different person, and that's when I really got a first-hand look at addiction and what it does to people. I also have 2 brothers who suffer from the disease, both right now still active. A lot of people in recovery say, they got their family back. They gained trust back from their loved ones. And for me, it's different. All those things do happen. But for me, in order to do better for myself, I had to distance myself from the people that I love. Distance myself from my brothers, my father, things like that. Those are just sacrifices that must be made, if you're truly dedicated to this thing. And I knew for me, going on any longer meant death. Addiction started for me personally in high school. I started experimenting with painkillers. I played sports. All my buddies used to take them. The difference was they were able to take them and stop. And me, I fell in love with Vicodin, Oxy, fentanyl, morphine, all that. And eventually, as I got older, got out of high school, I graduated to heroin. It was cheaper, made you feel better, the whole ordeal. And that's when my life really spun out of control. I started lying uncontrollably. My family thought I was in college for 3 years when I was really not doing anything. I was stealing from my family, like I said, lying to my family, manipulating them in any way. And then one day, April 24th, 2015, I was sitting on my couch, April 24th, 2016. I was laying on my couch and I was dope sick. And I just realized that enough was enough. I came clean about everything. And I checked into a treatment facility here in Springfield, Illinois. Completed that. My sober date's April 26th, 2016. I had a little slip up between admitting it and going to treatment. That's just the way the disease works. Went through treatment, moved into a sober living house here in Springfield, and that was the best decision I ever made. About 5 months after living here, I was promoted as a house manager and moved to a different house, this house that I'm in right now. And, I've met my best friends. I've seen people come and go, but the group we've got right now, everybody really wants it. I love them. They help me tremendously. And I like what Corey's doing just because, you see shows about addiction, but you never see the good part. And, a lot of people, you see them go to treatment and you assume that they're cured, and that's not it at all. Really the hard part starts when you leave treatment and it becomes all, you need self-discipline and other things like that. So I really like what Corey's doing, and I'm 100% willing to be a part of it. I hope everybody likes the idea. I think it'd be a great thing for people to see. It's raw honesty, and I think that's what the world needs today. My name's Jake. I'm an alcoholic. That's all I got.
I'm Jacob Michael. My drug of choice was K2. I'm from Peoria, Illinois. I smoked K2 for about 2 years. But as an addict, I know that no matter what I pick up, I can't put down. I'm very outgoing, very high-spirited. I can't ever sit still. That's a problem I have, but life isn't all bad after rehab. Life is great. Sobriety isn't as bad as what people make it out to be. Yes, you get all your feelings back. Yes, you have to deal with things that you didn't deal with in your addiction. But it comes with a price of being healthy and just learning to like yourself without a substance. And that's great, because what more to life is there than to actually be aware of what's going on and who you are and what you are and how you're supposed to live your life. I myself have been in recovery for about a year now. I wanted to first get clean when about a week or two before I turned 18. I'm about to turn 19 in 2 weeks. I've been clean 74 days, 86 days, and 96 days. And right now I am currently 31 days sober. And I'm working a program. I'm going to meetings. We're all friends. We all get along. It's great. It's you know what? I've never been happier in my entire life. I've never been happier than I am right now.
My name is Nick Brown. I was born July 21st, 1996 in Evansville, Indiana. I'm from Carmi, Illinois. Got addicted to Adderall in high school. I went to rehab. I got kicked out of 2 sober living houses for abusing my Adderall still. They took me off of it. So I got about 7 months clean now. I work the AA program. Yeah, my life's changed so much because of it. I have a job. I have a car. Hopefully I get a relationship somewhere down the line. But there's not too many of my type of women that like fat dudes. But yeah, I've gained the trust of my family back, and everything's going great so far. But I want to be able to do this because I think people should see how great life can be when you're sober, not drinking or using drugs, because there really is hope out there if you want it.
My name's Ike Copey. I'm an alcoholic and I'm an addict. 29 years old. I live here in Springfield, Illinois. I don't live in this sober house, although I pretty much do. I'm over here all the time. I'm proud of Corey for wanting to do this, and it's something I totally believe in. And the recovery process in general, you know. I just know how many people are out there struggling each and every day with this disease and don't know where to turn. For me, I've found myself alone, hopeless, and broken. Spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally broken. And I couldn't take the lifestyle I was living anymore. And I found Rehab here in Springfield, Illinois, where I'm currently living, and actually where I'm from. And I found the program in general, NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And what I found was hope. You know, I go to those meetings, you see hope, you feel hope, and you hear hope. You know, every day I'm in there, that's what I find, you know, and I have hope today because of this program. You know, as far as the disease itself goes, and it is a disease, anybody, in my opinion, who doesn't agree with that is just someone who has never has an addiction issue or knows anybody that has an addiction issue. And that's no excuse. It's just an explanation. But, you know, for me personally, I know today I can look at myself in the mirror and I can go to sleep at night without a drink or a drug. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm actually happy I woke up, because I was always too scared to take my own life, but I didn't want to live, you know. With this program and with everything that goes along with it, because I embrace the program, I embrace who I am as a person. In this disease, I believe, you know, I embrace it for who I am, and I'm comfortable in my own skin today. In this program, they say you have three options if you have the disease and you abuse alcohol or drugs like I did, and that is jail, death, or institutions. For me, it's death. It's my only other option. You know, and I began this program on my own choosing. I wasn't forced into it. But however you find it, all the power to you. I had 10 months of sobriety, and 2 Wednesdays ago, how messed up the disease is it's something we have to work on every day, you know, all aspects of the program. 2 Wednesdays ago, I found myself at the dentist. My drug of choice is heroin, although I began on weed, the pain pills, and then also along with graduated into heroin. I found myself at the dentist 2 Wednesdays ago, was prescribed. I told him I was an addict. So they did not prescribe me Vicodin or any type of opiate, but they did prescribe me tramadol, which is a drug I had taken in the past, and I had it in my possession. I didn't tell my sponsor, I didn't tell my friends, I didn't tell my family, and I got the idea to use, all I wanted to do was use and play video games. Take a couple of tramadol, feel good, and play video games. But if you have a personality like I do, I guess not personality, if you have an addiction as I do, I took a few, and a couple of hours later, I got heroin, and my dad actually ended up finding me with no pulse on my bedroom floor. You know, the cops got there in time to give me Narcan, brought me back to life. And I'm sitting here today to tell that to somebody who may need to hear it. It's never how you fall, it's how you get back up that people remember. And I can't do it alone. I can't do it without my friends. I can't do it without my family, my sponsor, and my higher power. That's all things that go along with the program. And as of today, I have about a week and a half of clean time, which at first was very, very hard to accept, and it's still hard to accept for me. Because I was proud of those 10 months. I kind of wore it on my chest, you know, like, ooh, I got 10 months. But at the end of the day, that's just time, man. But if I can help one person out there that's suffering with this disease, that's what it's all about. That's what we're all about, you know. Jake, the kid who runs this house, you know, he's my best friend. I was in there when he got there. And he came in, he wouldn't even wear a shirt. 3 weeks. Covered in henna tattoos. Jeans, cut into jean shorts. No shoes. Wouldn't wear them. That's just how he was, you know. And I don't judge him because I came in there rough too. Swolled up. Bitches. Paparazzi everywhere. But I was a mess. No, what I loved is, you know, you find hope in this program. I'm proud of Corey for doing what he's doing. Somebody needs to hear this shit. You know, I watch stuff on the disease, and it's all about the people, why they're in their addiction and what they're going through, and then getting to rehab. And then all you see is a paragraph at the bottom after the whole hour-long episode saying so-and-so has stayed sober, so-and-so has not stayed sober. But they don't continue that journey. And that's what people need to see. People need to see that's possible to live sober. Ups, downs. It's not easy. I don't think you'll ask anybody that's been in the program, but I guarantee you they'll tell you that it's worth it. You know, you cannot win out there. It's impossible to win. But like I said, you can't do it alone, you know, and that's what this is all about. That's what we're all about. You know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know, I can, I am, and I will. I truly hope people believe in this and give it a chance, because it's an epidemic. You know, if I could say one thing about this is that you don't have to use, you know, and sobriety doesn't suck. You know, it's different, it's challenging, but it's our journey. You know what I mean? It's part of our story, you know. You know, alone we're weak, together we're strong. I'm Ike, alcoholic, addict. You know, where there's breath, there's hope.